Well, toll road operator Transurban has just appointed Michelle Jablko as the chief executive, who will take over the top job after the annual general meeting in October. Joining me now is our business reporter, Edward Boyd. Ed, the new CEO will need to tackle regulatory and debt refinancing pressures.
Yeah, these are the two challenges facing Transurban, but let's first have a look at the overall result, because they do really well in a high inflation environment, because on most of their toll roads, tolls are either able to increase at a rate of 4% or inflation, and whichever is higher. And obviously in the June quarter, we've just seen inflation at 6%. So lots of toll roads around Australia, the tolls have gone up by 6%. You can see here toll revenue at Transurban in the last 12 months, up 26% to $3.3 billion. That's a record for them. Net profit, as you can imagine, increased sharply thanks to those higher tolls. The dividend was lifted very slightly as well. But the new incoming chief executive, Michelle Jablko, she was the chief financial officer at ANZ Bank for about 5 years, and she joined Transurban in 2021. Obviously, she has been the CFO at Transurban since then. And one of the big roles as CFO is debt financing and refinancing debt. And Transurban, they have borrowed a lot of money over the past decade or so to build these toll roads that they've set up in various cities around Australia. And some of those debts need to be paid pretty soon. So one of her big roles is going to be refinancing some of the big debts that Transurban have, but also the regulatory issues too. Obviously, buying toll roads, the ACCC gets involved. When you own so many in such small cities that we have in Australia, there are regulatory problems. So that's some of the hurdles she's going to need to tackle in the first few months when she takes over later this year in October.
Yeah, she's got a big job ahead of her, and the first female CEO for Transurban as well. Ed, there's some other big profit results today from the property companies Mirvac and Dexus. Both have struggled with the slowing economy.
Slowing economy has been tough for a lot of businesses, but property companies have really taken a hit due to falling valuations. So what happens with these big property businesses is every quarter they value their properties. You can see here Mirvac, they reported a statutory loss of $165 million in the recent financial year. The value of their office portfolio fell 5.6%. They didn't give a figure on what it's actually worth. Dividend was up very slightly to 10.5 cents. But if we go to the next page, Dexus own lots of office blocks around Australia. Valuations there fell almost 7%, or $1.2 billion. Net loss for them is about $750 million, and the dividend fell as well. So these are just two of some of the bigger property companies in Australia. Lots of others are reporting over the next couple of weeks, and it's probably going to be a similar story there. Property valuations falling, particularly for office portfolios, because less people want to come into the office now, and it's causing these businesses to struggle somewhat and boost their revenue.
And some breaking news, accounting firm KPMG have just reported their results. Revenue jumped more than 9% during the year to what, $2.6 billion?
$2.6 billion. That's what the accounting firm KPMG has just reported this morning. So here's their results on the screen. You can see revenue from the auditing business was up the sharpest, up 4%. The average partner income did fall slightly from about $750,000 a year down to $700,000, still a pretty good salary. And the CEO's salary was reduced as well during the 12 months. But obviously, they don't release how much profit they made. They're quite selective in what results they put out to their market. And today they also said they pay roughly $815 million in tax. But I believe a lot of those taxes are actually what their employees pay with their payee when they actually do their own tax returns. So need to look a bit more closely at KPMG's results. But obviously they have had a pretty good year at a time when the accounting sector is obviously under pressure due to what's happened at PwC.